Good afternoon to everyone. Am I audible?
Yes.
I always have a problem with my mic wherever I go actually. So that's why I'm asking. See, we in India, in the steel sector is moving to a decisive phase. In the last, let me first give some data to you. Of course, the learned audience already knows the data. In the last 10 years, last 12 years, steel capacity has grown from 102 million ton in 2014 to 220 million ton presently. Similarly, the production has gone from 81 million ton to 168 million ton. Consumption has gone from 74 million ton to 163 million. So this is the scale on which we are operating. When the steel policy was launched in 2017, I was ED in SAIL, and many of the people that time, whether in SAIL or in the private sector, they were quite skeptic. But I was directly working with Madam Aruna Sharma, so I was quite confident we will achieve this capacity. And we are already at 220 million ton. And my friend Atiti Tiwari will agree that we will reach to 300 billion ton by 2030. And we might even surpass, as Mr. Ashwini said. Global position also, the India has now become the second largest producer. Globally, all the people, whether raw material suppliers, technology suppliers, everybody is looking to India to for selling their wares, their raw material, their equipment, exporting their scrap. Everybody says that Modi has a big plan, so we should export to India. That is what they say. In fact, I read it in one of the Platts report that scrap suppliers were telling that Modi has a big plan, India has a big market. All said that, then now what the management of the company is telling in the recent reports, the Indian steel sector, the Mr. Narendran and Mr. Panda, Mr. Narendran was more focused on the geopolitical risk. He said the steel sector, to grow, they need investment, and the geopolitical risk and that inflation and other things will impact the investment of the steel sector. Similarly, Mr. Panda is focused on execution, market reach, valued products, and cost reduction and sustained value creation. Now, let me come back to the subject, what Mr. Nair has given me. This is about the logistics. When we joined SAIL in 1983, we were told that to produce 1 ton of steel, you need to move 4 ton of raw material. Logistics remains the main. Mr. Narendran also said at one of the conferences that Indian steel is competitive inside the factory gate, but the moment it goes out, our steel becomes uncompetitive. So India is now, because the central message is clear that competitiveness will no longer be decided by what you produce. It will be decided by how efficiently you move, how efficiently you market, and things like that. From plants to stockyard to service centers to your customers to export to ports and everywhere, where if you are able to move in the time and the lower cost, then you will be competitive. India's logistics indicators have recently improved. Logistic performance index ranking, stronger performance, expanding dedicated for corridor usage, growing cargo terminals, everything is improving. As my co-panelist said, that road construction has more than doubled. It was 34 kilometers 3-4 years back, maybe it is gone up to about 38-39 kilometers per day the road is being created. This is one. I like to refer to my notes because topic suddenly changed. Long haul bulk movement must distinctly move towards coastal slurry pipeline, as Mr. said. India must improve visibility, rake planning, siding, stockyard, digital tracking. In the medium term, must build logistics park, aggregate cargo for coastal and inlet water movement, and expand port side service centers. By 2047, India must aim to build low-cost, low-carbon, high-capacity steel corridors that support not just domestic demand, but also export competitiveness. In short, next edge for steel sector would lie, for any sector, in fact, Indian economy would lie, how efficient our logistics. Steel Ministry is already working in this direction. They have already uploaded about addresses of 2000. They are trying to map all the steel units across the country. Maybe data about 2100 units available on the website of Steel Ministry. So therefore tracking this. So logistic in main is going to be the decisive sector. And then let us come to the another pain point, which is the biggest pain point is the coking coal. The coking coal costs keep rising every now and then. In fact, in 2022 and 23, if I am wrong, Aditi will correct me, the coking coal prices had gone up to $600 a ton. Is that correct, Aditi? And now at that time, all the companies across the world were struggling how to come to, how long it will last. But suddenly things changed. It has now about $240 a ton. In fact, in between it has gone down to below 200. But again, it is at 240, mainly because of this Gulf War and things like that, because India gets a lot of its coal from America, Russia, and earlier the Australia was the main supplier. We used to get almost 80% of the coal from Australia. Today I think it is about 50%. We get a lot of coal from Russia. Of course, steel companies had reservations about importing from Russia, but the Steel Ministry was quite clear that if it has to become competitive, coal must come from Russia. Today, I think the Russian PCI cost at least how much? 60% lower, 30% lower than Australian PCI. Similarly, the coking coal from Russia is also cheaper, and in the way we are dependence on Australia has reduced. In that way, then Australian suppliers are also coming around the view that for India they cannot argue and get the price whatever they want. And in that, Mr. Ashwini Kumar also played a major role in talking to this. In many times he wanted the CFR India prices should be made. I think the companies like Kalanish and Pellets are also reporting in smaller tonnages, but CFR India prices are being reported. Next is this iron ore. We are self-sufficient, no doubt, but we need good quality iron ore for DRI sector. For that, they need to work on beneficiation and pelletization, and industry is working on that. There is a plus point is that we have a DRI industry, but that is a coal-based, but at least the structure is in place. So we will be able to achieve the target for DRI, whatever the government sets for us, whatever the requirement. It may take some time, but we have, DRI is a thriving sector in India. I mean, the largest producer of DRI in the world. Coking coal, Government of India also taken an initiative. I think my co-panelists also mentioned that coking coal mission is there. According to that coking coal mission, about 150 or 140 million ton of coking coal will be produced unwashed. After washing, around 48 million ton or something will come that will be used for the industry. Our Ministry of Coal is setting up washeries in association with the industry and on their own. This is now see another thing is that 300 million ton target is achievable. I keep talking to my friends how long you can go. The Prime Minister in the last India Steel said that India must produce 500 million ton. So depending on the demand, production and capacity target, I think India should be able to reach that target by 2050. That is the feeling I have. In fact, see, recently Mr. Sajjan Jindal said he wants to take his company to 100 million ton. It is a published news. Similarly, Tata Steel, SAIL, JSPL, everybody is investing. In fact, Indian companies like JSPL are investing in green steel by going to Oman. In fact, the Oman plant steel is well accepted across the world. People are now. That's all from my side.